throughout.
That'd be great. Thank you, Sean.
All right, my friend, Congressman Louis Gohmert, 800-941-SEAN. I mean, I don't know what was the matter. It sounds like a Sports Illustrated football phone. I'm not sure, though. It was going in and out. Pretty funny. All right, let's go to our phones as we now say hi to Tyler is in Bowling Green, Ohio on the Sean Hannity Show. Hi.
Hello, hi. Thanks for taking my call.
What can I do for you?
All right, I'm a progressive, and
stop. Progressive means liberal. Go ahead.
Yes, I actually really like the show. There's a lot of things that I do agree with you on, a lot of things I disagree with you on. Probably the biggest I agree.
Let's get to the but.
Go ahead.
You're going to say but. Go ahead.
I was going to say one of the things I agree with you on is I'm not totally sold on an Obama second term, though I'm sure we had different reasons for coming to that conclusion. But
you don't think he's liberal enough?
Progressive enough now. Yeah. But that's not necessarily the reason I called. The biggest thing I wanted to touch on, and I think when it comes to the candidates and the whole political dialogue in general, I think we need to have an honest and open debate. I've heard things from you and Speaker Gingrich and Rick Perry, especially over the last few months, labeling Obama as a socialist and Marxist and things like that. And I just think it's factually and utterly false and misleading to label him that way because it's just totally untrue. I'm not an Obama supporter. I should preface that, but I just think it just makes no sense for what socialism means.
If you define socialism, I mean, the basic definition, you can go to the dictionary definition if you want. You know, you're looking at a system whereby, or a political theory, if you think it's just a theory or in practice, that advocates collective or government ownership of the means of production and distribution of goods. For i.e., I can mention one most recently, that would be healthcare. You know, if you look at, you know, the president has accumulated $5 trillion on his way to $6 trillion in new debt.
Sean. Well, take a look at TARP. With George Bush bailing out banks and auto industries, doesn't that sound like government ownership of production and distribution?
In many ways, but this is what we were talking about soft tyranny yesterday with Levin, gradualism, and a slow but steady process towards, you know, this ultimate utopia that you and your fellow progressives want. The problem with your mindset and your mentality is that, you know, you don't believe in the individual. As a matter of fact, you're anti-individualism. And that is, and the way you portray those people that are successful, well, I'm speaking generally now on the left, is that...
Sean, if Obama was a socialist, would he have kept his stock in government ownership of the companies like GM and things? The Treasury tried to get rid of the stock and get rid of the investment. Why wouldn't he hang on to them?
Yeah, but they should have let them go bankrupt. We have bankruptcy laws to deal with it. No, but it was his stimulus. You got to look at Obama. He voted for TARP. He supported TARP. Obama did. He supported, and then on top of it, he comes in with a stimulus program, then a son of stimulus. His budget's, you know, ballooning to the point where he's accumulated more debt in 3 years than every president from George Washington up to and including the 8 years of Bill Clinton. And it's because he believes in this mentality of socialism. In other words, look, he doesn't see individuals as being self-reliant. He doesn't see people that have those attributes for the well-being of people and other things.
Okay, you bring up wealth. Well, we heard a lot of redistribution of wealth and socialism back in 2008 with Joe the Plumber and things. But progressive taxes have been around since Lincoln. He signed it in 1862. So if you're going to talk about progressivism in terms of the tax structure, socialist, then that's been that way for 150 years.
All right, but if you look at the percentage of people's incomes now taken by government and look at the spending of government, and, you know, Levin, when we had him on yesterday about his book, you know, he had a good line in there. He said, you know, we're not capable of picking out our own light bulb or deciding we want salt on our table because government has become such a nanny state, but yet we get to pick the elites that are going to give us more and more. What's happening here is you're being promised and buying into the idea that government will fulfill the promise that you're going to have this cradle-to-grave utopia, and that your health care is going to be paid for, and that Social Security is going to be there for you, and if you need help, Medicare and Medicaid is going to be there from you. All of these things are on a path towards certainty, certain bankruptcy. And so none of these things are sustainable. And in the meantime, we're borrowing and robbing our kids' and grandkids' piggy banks. And in the meantime, we're stifling the private sector, where jobs are really created. And in the meantime, we're abandoning America's founding principles. And that is the belief in the individual to go out there, find their talents, bring it to fruition, and be responsible for their own lives. And you're abandoning any concept of individual responsibility because you think morally your viewpoint is superior. We'll put all our money in a pot and we'll give as much as we can give, and everybody will have everything equal. In the end,
who says everything is equal?
Well, I'm saying that would be your utopian view.
No,
that you would want everything equal.
Utopian view.
Sure it is.
If I asked you that we should have a progressive tax structure as we've had for 150 years, and that was deemed socialist, how is it anything to do with utopia?
We've never been to a point where 47% of Americans don't pay federal income tax. We've never been to the point where 1 in 6 Americans relies on government assistance for their basic needs. All of this is now accelerated because of the policies of Obama and his fellow Democrats and fellow progressives like you.
You bring up the 47% income tax, but they pay other taxes, Sean.
I got it. No, but they don't pay a dime in federal income tax. Not a penny. They're not contributing. 1 in 6 Americans relies on the government for these food stamps. Food stamp president. Where did that come from? We didn't pull it out of nowhere. Hey, if you're looking for a permanent office, thanks for the call, for your home business, but you have budget restraints of a startup, I want to tell you about Regis. Or maybe you want a business presence in another part of the country, but maybe you're scared to make that investment. Well, this is where Regis comes in their virtual office.